Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something colorful. I have to be completely honest. I am a brown tone, warm tone, gold, orangey kind of girl, but I've decided that I'm going to start playing more with makeup and colors. So here is the result, basically. This makeup look, it's actually out of my comfort zone, but I am really loving this makeup look right now. And I hope that you like it too. So if you want to see how I did this makeup look, please keep watching. We're kind of close, right? Close and personal. So we're gonna start off with our eyes, and we're actually gonna be using tape. Tape actually makes it a little bit easier to create a very sharp edge at the end of your eyeshadows, and it's gonna prevent, all of the fallout and all of that. It's gonna really help us out today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna use the tape on my hand first, so we kind of take out that first layer of glue, because we're gonna be dealing with our under eye and all of that area is very delicate, so we wanna treat it right. We want to tape it underneath our bottom lashes and not tape it right next to the end of our outer V, but lower. So basically, like there. Yes. If we tape it here, so when our outer V ends as if we were going from our bottom lash line right next to our eyebrows, it's gonna be very minimal space for you to apply and create that gradient finish on our bottom lash line. So that's why I tape it a little bit downward, so our edge goes right over here, and once we apply that eyeshadow at our bottom lash line, we can actually see the gradient effect, and it's gonna be very sharp. So once I'm done, I like to check and see if they're going to the same place, and as you can see, they're not. I'm trying to figure out which one I like the best. That I like better, and now this one I'm gonna move a little bit upwards. I think they're pretty close, so I'm gonna keep it that way. So I've already moisturized my face and my under eye and everything, so we're good to go. So I'm gonna be priming my eyes with MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. I'm not a fan of this shade, but it does the job. And I'm gonna be using the Royal and Langnickel Precision Angle. If you saw my video on my Birchbox and Ipsy unboxing, you saw that I struggled with the name of this brush. It's just so weird. Langnickel? Langnickel. I don't know how to say it. I'm just using this brush to apply a thin layer of the paint pot. And I am going in all the way to the end of our tape, so we also want to prime that area. At the beginning, it's gonna feel a little bit weird to have tape around your eyes and knowing that the eyeshadow is gonna end on that area, but at the end result, it's gonna be amazing. And I have something to confess. I'm really excited about this makeup look because I've always been a warm tone, natural, brown, gold-ish kind of girl. I don't know why I've been kind of afraid of color, but recently I've been thinking about it and I'm like, I need to play with color. So now that we have our base, I'm gonna be using these two colors right here from Morphe. This one is Deep Skin and this one is Birthday Suit. So I'm gonna be mixing them both with a MAC 224 brush, and I'm gonna apply this all over my crease. So this is actually gonna work as our transition color. Kind of little circles and then one swipe. And with those two colors, we're already implementing the warm tone that we're actually gonna be using on our crease later on. Now we're gonna move on to Flame from Morphe as well. This color is just everything. It's so pretty. And I'm gonna be blending it in with a Morphe M433 brush. What I wanna do with this color is just go in little by little and building it up so that we can actually have time to blend everything in. So I'm picking the brush right at the end because that's gonna make it a little bit lighter, and focusing on the outer V and bringing it towards the inner corner. And now I'm actually gonna blend that color right into our outer V. So not just on the crease, but also on the lid. Okay. I'm gonna go in with the MAC 224 brush that we were using earlier just to blend the edges without any product, and then go in with whatever's left on this brush just to make sure that we're not losing that color. Now I'm gonna use a little bit of spice from Morphe as well with the same M433 brush that we were using, and I'm just gonna go over all of that color that we had. It's kind of like a wash that I'm doing right here. So I'm gonna use these Real Techniques detailer brush, very pointy and synthetic, and I'm gonna damp the brush in liquid sugar so that we can actually have more control over the shadow we're gonna use and make it a little bit more pigmented. Just packing that color in. And this one is Orchid from Morphe as well. Such a beautiful color. And I'm just gonna pack this color from our inner corner, basically the middle of our lid. I like to kind of shape my lid so that I can go in higher than I actually have my lid. And right here where I'm supposed to end with that color, I'm just lightly blending it into our orange because I want a nice transition. I want to use a little bit of Nuts for You from Morphe. I'm just using a regular shadow brush, and I want to pack this on our edge just to make it a little bit darker. See how I'm following the tape? And now I'm gonna go in a little bit more, and with the same brush that we were using earlier, I'm just gonna blend that in. The brown with the orange and the pink. Now I do have to warn you that when you're using liquid sugar, it does make the product stay where it is, so it takes a little bit more of blending. But instead of liquid sugar, you could use a setting spray and it'll work wonders as well. Now I'm just trying to add a little bit more of the orchid shade just to make sure that that color is still present. So now I'm using this crease brush, and it's a little bit more slim, as you can see, and I'm gonna pick up a little bit of orchid and a little bit of flame onto this brush, and I'm just gonna go right here. So I just want kind of like a different shade of that orchid. Ooh, I'm loving it. I'm gonna grab a little bit of this Milani highlighter in the shade 02. I'm gonna apply that on my brow bone. It's really intense. I love this so much. I'm going to basically blend that with the MAC 224. So now it's time to remove this bad boy. This is what I mean. See where the line ends? This is all gonna be eyeshadow at the end. So that's why we need to go a little bit more towards the bottom. And I'm actually gonna move on with my face, and then we're gonna finish the eyes. For my face, I'm gonna use this Smashbox Photofinish primer. I'm not gonna use that much, just like that. And I'm just gonna apply it around my nose, my chin, and my forehead. I'm just going to press it down. So for foundation, I'm gonna actually use the Armani Luminous Silk. I'm sorry I don't know the shade because it's actually a tester. Because recently my foundation is just creasing on my smile lines a lot. Every single foundation. And I've been moisturizing, I've been doing everything right, so I just want to try out a different foundation and see what happens. So I'm just gonna blend that in with my beauty blender. I'm just trying to build it up right here. And I'm also going to bring it down to my neck. For concealer, I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 20. Just gonna create a little triangle right here. And I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender just to blend all of that in. I like to bring my concealer right into the side of my nose, because that's gonna help it make it seem a little bit slimmer. Oh my god. I scratched my face right here, and the concealer is clinging into the little scars I didn't know I had. The center of my nose, my forehead. But before I move on and blend all of that, I'm actually gonna go in with the Kat Von D translucent setting powder, and with my Real Techniques brush, just gonna dump that in, and I'm gonna press it down onto my under eye. And now I'm gonna blend the rest of that concealer, and now I'm just going to set that concealer as well. So basically the goal is to end up looking like a ghost. While we let that bake, I'm gonna use these MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in the shade Dark with a Morphe R2 brush, and I'm just gonna bronze up my skin a little bit more. Well, a little bit, not more, because we're not bronzed up. So I'm just gonna go in right here. I really like this brush for this, for bronzing up my skin. It just makes it so effortlessly, kind of like a little wash of sun. I like to go in on my jawline as well, and on my neck, on my forehead. And now for contour, I'm gonna use the Tarteist Pro Glow palette, and I'm gonna use Sculpt. And I'm actually gonna use a fan brush. This is from Morphe, this M310 brush. So now I'm just gonna contour right here. So I like it that there's some sort of transition going from more of a cool tone color right here and then going to the bronzy shade. I like to also bring this on my forehead as well and on my jawline as well, just to get rid of that double chin. I've been really loving this brush for my contour. It's great. And now with a smaller brush, this is the Sephora Crease brush, I'm gonna contour my nose. I like to bring it all the way to my brow and at the bottom as well. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more powder with my Beauty Blender right there, so that we have more of a sharp nose. And with the tip of the Beauty Blender, I'm gonna go in the center. Like that. Now we're gonna move on with blush, and I'm gonna be using this baked blush from Milani in the shade 02. And I'm just using a Lancome brush. It doesn't have a name, but it's just a powder blush brush. I'm just gonna go in on the apples of my cheek. Done. Now I'm gonna move on with brows, and I'm gonna be using the Milani Stay Put Brow Color in the shade 04. So I'm just gonna skip ahead because I just did a tutorial on brows using this product itself. So I'll see you in a little bit. So we're gonna finish her eyes, and I'm gonna be using Birthday Suit and Dip Skin, the same colors that we were using earlier for transition on our crease, and that's what we're gonna do on our bottom lash line. So I'm just gonna apply that right there. And I'm using the Morphe M506 brush just to make sure that we have all of the same steps that we did on our crease earlier. Great. Now I'm gonna move on with Flame and a Morphe M431, just a pencil brush. I'm gonna pack that in. I'm just going to bring some more warmth and orangey into our lower lash line. And now using Orchid with a Morphe M432 brush, I'm just gonna pack that in into our lower lash line. So very close to our lower lash line. And picking up a little bit more of flame on our pencil brush, I'm just going to blend it right at the bottom. And for mascara, I'm gonna be using the Telescopic from L'Oreal. And I'm gonna give myself 2 coats. Even though we're gonna use some falsies, I want them to be a little bit thicker. So I'm not gonna wear eyeliner or anything like that. I'm not gonna worry that much on this area, but I'm gonna focus it more on the beginning. But still, I'm gonna let that coat dry a little bit more. And for a second coat, for lashes, I'm gonna be using the Ardell Duralash. So instead of just being one individual lash, it's 3 of them together, which I thought that was brilliant. So I'm just picking one up with my tweezers, and I'm gonna use the House of Lashes glue. So I'm just gonna let it dry a little bit, and I'm not going to apply them on top of my lashes, but underneath. You just have to make sure that you're actually gluing the lashes onto your lashes. I'm just gonna apply this one right at the end. I'm gonna go in with another one. You can kind of see the difference now. It makes them pop. And that makes 3 of them. Let's see how it'll look with another one of these bad boys. So that's with 1 more. Yep, we're doing 4. So you can move them around a little bit with your tweezers. Being very careful. You don't want to poke your eye because, believe me, it's really painful. I'm gonna do a little coat of mascara on my bottom lashes. Just the lashes that are right at the end. I've been really loving this kind of look where your bottom lashes are basically gone on your inner corner, but they're popping on the outer corner. It's really pretty. Okay, so now that I have my lashes on, I'm gonna remove all of this powder. And we are gonna move on with highlighter. I'm gonna use the Milani highlighter that we use on our brow bone in the number 02. And I'm gonna apply it with a Morphe M510 brush. So just a little swirl. We start highlighting. I love this highlighter so much. It's just so pretty. Look at that. I'm in love. And our Cupid's bow, that's needed. And for the bridge of my nose, I like to pinch the brush just a little bit and then go in, so it's not all over the place. I have a little bit above my brows. For lips, I'm gonna use the LA Girl Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Dreamy. So that is it for today's video. I am obsessed right now. I'm flirting with myself, basically. I am really happy with the way this makeup turned out. It's kind of like a mix between spring and summer, so that's kind of what I was inspired by. So all of the products and brushes will be in the description box so that you can know what is it that we were using. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Here is my username. And don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can be notified when the next video is up. Share this video with your friends and family and everybody. If you have any suggestions or questions or any comments at all, just leave them down below. I'll be reading them, and I'll see you on the next one.